All right, good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network for this afternoon's broadcast of History Maker Baseball. My name is Dave Little, and I am coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from the Best Team I've Ever Seen tournament. The first round of this tournament is winding down. Only 3 series remain before we get to the round of 16. And today we present the opening game of the West Coast Series between the 2016 San Francisco Giants and the 2005 Los Angeles Dodgers. The 2016 Giants were a team of celebration because this was the culmination of my tour of every Major League Baseball team in its home park. I was able to witness the Giants take on the Cubs in the summer of 2016. Unfortunately for the Giants, they got blown out that day behind Jake Peavy, who gave up 8 runs to the Cubs. So Peavy gets the start today, coming in with a record of 5-9 and a 5.54 ERA. He'll be facing Derek Lowe, who pitched in 2005 for the Dodgers in a tremendous game where he shut out the Cincinnati Reds 4-0. As we went all the way from Cincinnati to Los Angeles and only got to see the Reds get 2 hits off of Derek Lowe. Lowe for 2005 finished with a respectable 3.61 ERA, but a record of a disappointing 12 wins and 15 losses. On the screen now you can see the particulars for today's game. Peavy and Lowe are your starters. The hot hitter for San Francisco is Joe Paddock, and by virtue of the pregame chart rolls, the Giants got a benefit in Brandon Crawford, the starting shortstop, who will be happy today, and that lifts the team mood from semi-harmonious up to harmonious. Your cold batter for San Francisco is Denard Span. For the Dodgers, your hot hitter is Jason Phillips, who delivered a key RBI hit in the game we saw at Dodger Stadium. The mood will be semi-harmonious, but they also got a perk from the pregame charts in that their starting pitcher, Derek Lowe, will be hot. So we may see something special from Derek Lowe this afternoon. Shortstop Cesar Izturis is the cold guy for the Dodgers. And the weather on the West Coast today is neutral because, as we know, it never rains in sunny Southern California. So those are your particulars for today's game. The game will be played in Dodger Stadium, which is a big ballpark for both lefties and righties. Your umpiring crew for today at home plate is Bob Hansen, a semi-respected home plate umpire. Your first base umpire for today is Dave Gardner. At second base, the original Grognard Devon, a respected umpire. And Utah Mike is your third base umpire for today. Now let's go to the starting lineups. For the Giants, leading off at shortstop, your happy hitter for today, Brandon Crawford. Batting second, playing right field, is Hunter Pence. The catcher in batting third is Buster Posey. Brandon Belt is your first baseman and cleanup hitter. The left fielder batting fifth, Angel Pagan. Batting sixth at third base, Connor Gillespie. Batting seventh is your second baseman, Joe Paddock, the hot hitter for the Giants today. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Denard Span. Starting pitcher batting ninth, Jake Peavy. Once again, Crawford at short, Pence in right, Posey in center at catcher. Brandon Belt at first, Pagan in left, Gillespie at third. Paddock at second, Span in center, and Peavy on the mound. For the homestanding Dodgers, Milton Bradley will be your leadoff hitter, playing center field. Ricky Leday bats second and plays left field. J.D. Drew bats third and plays right field. The cleanup hitter is the second baseman, Jeff Kent. Hee-Sop Choi is playing first and batting fifth. Batting sixth, the third baseman Olmedo signs. Your catcher and hot hitter Jason Phillips bats 7th. The cold guy Cesar Esteuras plays short and bats 8th. And Derek Lowe is your starter, batting 9th. You will notice that I have moved from the playmat to a tabletop with a smaller field. That's simply so I can keep better track of the players and have less moving parts and pieces in this game. Because if you watched my last baseball broadcast a few weeks ago, I had some trouble keeping the teams and the players straight. So I've decided to cut down on the desktop space I'm using for tonight's game, and we'll see how it goes with the smaller playing field. The umpires are ready. The players have taken the field. Derek Lowe has completed his pregame warm-ups, and we are ready for action. It will be leading off Brandon Crawford for the Giants against Derek Lowe. And the first roll of the game, Lowe winds and delivers a 2-2-6. Is the batter hit by a pitch? The decider die says no. Is this the cleanup batter? No. That will be a fly out to left field unless the batter is a whiffer, and then it will be a strikeout. Crawford is indeed a whiffer. So Derek Lowe strikes out the first batter of the game, and that brings Hunter Pence to the plate. Your right fielder batting second. Pence is a hero and a semi-slugger. And on a roll of 1-2-2, is the pitcher a flash? He is a semi-flash. The decider die says yes, and that is a strikeout. So 2 up and 2 down, both by way of the strikeout for Derek Lowe. And that brings Buster Posey to the plate. Posey rears back and swings at a 2-2-2. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter a sad sack? No. So that will be a double to center field, with 3 stars next to it. The 3 stars indicate that a home run king hits a home run. Posey is not a home run king, so he will pull up at second with a double. And we've got our first hit and our first base runner of the day. And the 2-out batter now will be Brandon Belt, with Posey in scoring position. And that will take us to our team chemistry chart. And as you recall, by virtue of the fact that Brandon Crawford is happy, the Giants will be considered harmonious throughout today's ball game. And on a roll of 1-5, do we have pitching team harmony? The decider die says yes. And that means an outfielder makes the sliding grab of a looping line drive for the out. And we'll give that out to center fielder Milton Bradley. And that will end the top of the first inning. With the score, the Giants nothing, the Dodgers batter a whiffer. He is a semi-whiffer. The decider die says no. And that's going to be a ground out to third base. And that's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Ricky Leday, and that will take us to the player experience chart. Leday is a semi-icon batter, and Jake Peavy is a full icon pitcher. And on a roll of 5-6, do we have an icon pitcher? Yes. Fool's batter with an off-speed pitch, resulting in a sky-high pop-up to the shortstop. And quickly that will be your second out of the first inning. And that'll bring J.D. Drew to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Drew facing off against Peavy. Peavy winds and delivers a 2-6-6. Is there a runner on first? No. Is this the leadoff batter? No. That's going to be a fly out to right field, and that ends the first inning. So a scoreless first inning. And as we go to the second, one of my favorite names in all of baseball history, Angel Pagan, is the batter. He pronounces it Angel Pagan, but Angel Pagan is my preferred pronunciation. Pagan stepping in against Derek Lowe. Lowe winds and delivers a 4-4-6. Is Pagan a star? Is the pitcher a star? He is a semi-star. The decider die says no. Is Pagan a sad sack, utility, or patient? None of the above. And that's going to be a single to right. An active runner may steal. Pagan is a neutral runner, so he will hold up at first for the moment with the leadoff single. Now let's look at Pagan's base stealing prowess. He is a neutral runner. The catcher today for the Giants is Jason Phillips, who is a semi-iron catcher. And he will be an iron catcher for this situation, which means that Pagan can steal on a 1-5, assuming he gets his lead. So we'll roll. And on a roll of 4, lead die of 4, runners advance 1 base on ground outs. So Pagan moves to third, and we will call that a 4-3 ground out. And with 1 out, Pagan moves over to third base, and that brings up the hot-hitting Joe Panik for the Giants. It's only the second inning, so we will not play the infield in. And it will be Panik against Derek Lowe, and Lowe is hoping for a strikeout or a pop-up. And on a roll of 1-1-3, is the pitcher an ace or dynamic? No. Is the batter a slugger? No. And the result is a single to center field. So Panik drives home the first run of the game with a base hit up the middle. And the Giants take the 1-0 lead. Panik is also a neutral runner, so he may take a look at stealing against the semi-iron Jason Phillips. Phillips is not an iron in this situation, so it will be a 1-4 for Panik to steal the base, and that is a house rule. That's not a History Maker Baseball rule. The History Maker Baseball does not look at catchers fielding for stolen base percentages. So Panik can steal on a 1-4, assuming he gets his second base and Span coming to the plate. Span swings and hits a 2-2-6. And is the batter hit by a pitch? The decider die says no. Is this a cleanup batter? No. Is he a whiffer? No, he is not. So that will be a fly out to left field for the second out of the inning. Panik will hold at second base on the play, and the 2-out hitter will be the pitcher, Jake Peavy. Peavy is a semi-sad sack and a full scrapper. And on a roll of 2-4-6, is Lowe a control pitcher? Yes, he is. That's going to be a comebacker to the pitcher, and that will end the inning. After 1.5, the score is the Giants 1, the Dodgers 0. And it will be cleanup hitter Jeff Kent leading off the second inning for the Dodgers. As I lose control of the dice and they go all over the floor. As we used to say in Stratomatic terms, I am a 5E65 when it comes to handling the dice. Here's Jeff Kent facing off against Peavy. Peavy winds and delivers a 1-5-5. The pitcher's column is blank. Is Jeff Kent a home run king? The decider die says yes, and that's a home run to center field. So with one swing of the bat, Jeff Kent ties this ball game, and the fans here at Dodger Stadium rise to their feet in applause. First hit of the day for the Dodgers. Jeff Kent touches them all. And it is a 1-1 ball game. And here comes Hee-Sop Choi, the left-handed hitting first baseman, semi-slugger, and semi-home run king. Choi swings and hits a 3-4-5. Do we have an iron catcher? The catcher today is Buster Posey. And according to Posey's card, he is a Gold Glove fielder, so that will not be a base on balls. Do we have a good eye? No. That's going to be a strikeout. Hee-Sop Choi is retired on the strikeout for the first out of the inning. And that's going to take us to the right now chart. The right now chart tells us that Peavy is a hot pitcher because he struck out the last batter. Signs has yet to come to the plate today, so he is a neutral batter. And the roll is a 1-3. Do we have a cold pitcher? No. So this will not be a hanging pitch smacked into center field. Instead, this will be a shallow fly ball to center field because he wore these thick plastic gloves to catch of the fly ball. But at the end of 2 complete, we're tied at 1-1. Leadoff hitter Brandon Crawford comes to the plate to lead off the third for Los Angeles as we go to the team chemistry chart. The Giants, as you will recall, are harmonious. The Dodgers semi-harmonious. And on a roll of 2-5, do we have pitching team dissonance? No. So we will not have a modestly hit ball dropping in for a single. Instead, the right fielder, J.D. Drew, moves under it and makes the catch. That will be the first out of the inning, and that'll bring Hunter Pence to the plate, the quirky right fielder for the San Francisco Giants. Pence digs in against Lowe. Lowe winds and delivers a 4-5-5. Is Lowe a workman? No. Is Pence patient? No. That's going to be a ground out to first base. Choi flips to Lowe covering, and that is the second out of the inning. And that brings Buster 2 outs to the leadoff hitter, Milton Bradley. Bradley on a 3-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he is not. Is the batter a sad sack, utility, or patient? None of the above. That's going to be a single to center field for Milton Bradley. Buster Posey is the catcher for the Giants today. He is a Gold Glove catcher. So that would cut down the stealing opportunity to a 1-3, and that's not worth the risk. So your 2-out batter will be Ricky Leday, and this brings us to the patient experience chart. Once again, Peavy is the icon, Leday the semi-icon. I believe we did the same thing in the first inning, if I recall correctly. The roll is 3-3. Do we have a prospect batter? No. So this will not be a ground out to the pitcher. Instead, the batter connects and hits one out to the fence. We're going to the fence chart for Ricky Leday. He is a semi-slugger. The decider die says in a 1-1 ball game. J.D. Drew is at the plate with a chance to knock home a couple of runs off Giants starter Jake Peavy. And the roll is a 1-1-6. Is Peavy fresh? It's the third inning. Indeed, he is fresh, and that will be a strikeout to end the inning. So Jake Peavy comes up huge and gets out of trouble in that situation. And we go to the top of the fourth, still tied at 1-1. Brandon Belt to lead off the fourth inning for the Giants against Derek Lowe. Good pitcher's duel here in the early innings. The roll is a 5-6-6. Is Lowe wild? He is not. Is the batter a good eye? No, he is not. And that will be a strikeout. So Belt strikes out to begin the inning. And that is going to take us to the right now chart for the next batter, left fielder Angel Pagan. Pagan singled in his first at bat, so he is hot. And Derek Lowe is hot all game by virtue of his role on the pregame charts. So hot hitter and hot pitcher. And on a roll of 1-6, do we have a hot pitcher? Yes. Fools the batter into swinging an outside pitch and gets an easy and delivers a 2-3-3. Is the pitcher an ace or a star? He is a semi-star, but the decider die says no. Is the batter a slugger? Gillespie is not a slugger, and the end result will be a fly out to center field. It will be Milton Bradley making the catch to end the inning for the Dodgers defense. And after 3.5, we're still tied at 1. Bottom of the 4th, Jake Peavy comes to the mound with Jeff Kent digging in as the leadoff hitter. Peavy is now going to be no longer fresh, but semi-fresh. And the opening roll of the inning is a 1-3-4. Do we have a gold catcher? We have Buster Posey behind the plate. He is a gold catcher, and that is a strikeout. Nice job framing that pitch by Posey to retire Kent for the first out of the inning. Home plate umpire Bob Hansen rings him up, and that brings to the plate the one-out batter, first baseman Hee-Sop Choi. Choi digging in against Peavy. Swings and hits a 4-4-5. Is Peavy a workman? No. Is Choi batter? And we go to the team chemistry chart. On the team chemistry chart, we roll a 5-6. Do we have pitching team dissonance? No. So the pitcher is not going to be struck for a single. That's going to be a strikeout, and that retires the side. So at the end of 4 complete, we're still tied at 1 in what has amounted to a very good pitcher's duel. It looked like pretty much of a pitching mismatch, considering that Lowe's ERA in 2005 was a full 2 points lower than what Peavy put up in 2016. But Peavy is going inning for inning against Lowe here in Dodger Stadium. Joe Panik, the hot hitter for the Giants, will lead off the 5th inning against Derek Lowe. And the pitch, left-hand batter against the right-hand pitcher. The roll is a 3-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? He is not. Or a star? He is a semi-star. Excuse me, 3-3-6. No, he's not an ace, my bad. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? None of the above. So the end result will be a single to center field. Is Span going to run? With the pitcher at the plate, we're just going to have the pitcher drop one down. Peavy is not a good hitter. And on a bunt roll of 6, we get the roll again. Something bad is going to happen here. And on the second roll of 2, we have a fielder's choice, meaning the bunt was unsuccessful. Peavy a stoic runner, obviously no threat to steal. And the 2-out hitter will be leadoff batter Brandon Crawford. Crawford digs in against Peavy, and the roll is a 1-3-5. That's our first 1-3-5 of the day. And that's going to take us to our random stuff chart. The 1 is red, and it is a black 3. So that is going to take us to memorable plays in the field. So with 2 outs and the pitcher on first, we have a memorable play in the field. And the roll is a 2-6. Is the third baseman iron? Our third baseman today is Olmedo Sainz. He was not known for his fielding, but he is a neutral fielder. So he is not caught lounging. And instead of a weakly hit ball sneaking past him for a base hit, Sainz makes the alert play, grabs the line out for the 3rd out. Up with the Dodgers coming to bat, it'll be 8-9-1. In the bottom of the 5th for LA is Turris, Lowe, and Bradley against Jake Peavy in his 5th inning of work. The Peavy winds and delivers a 1-2-6. Is the pitcher fresh? The decider die says no. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he is not. And that's going to be a single past second base. So a leadoff single for Cesar Izturis. puts him on second. And the batter will be Derek Lowe. We'll see if Lowe can do any better with his bunch than Peavy did in the top half of the inning. And on a roll of 5, that is a successful sacrifice bunch for Derek Lowe. So that'll be a sacrifice bunt. And we'll just call that a 3-4 for the fun of it. And Esturis moves to second base. And that brings Milton Bradley to the plate with one man out. And that actually negated the player experience chart since we used the bunt card. And Milton Bradley is your batter. And on a roll of 2-2-6, is the batter hit by a pitch? The decider die says yes. Pound, hot head. So he is going to have to be held back by his first base coach to prevent him from charging the mound on Jake Peavy. And your one-out batter now with runners at first and second is Ricky Leday as action starts in the Giants bullpen. Peavy starting to show signs of tiring out. And on a roll of 4-5-6, nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter patient? No. That's going to be a fly out to center field. Batter on the team chemistry chart will be J.D. Drew. And on the chemistry chart, the roll is 2-6. Do we have batting team? The Dodgers are semi-harmonious. Play to retire Pence and bring Buster Posey to the plate. Posey doubled his first time up and lined out his second time up. We'll see if the third time is a charm. The roll is a 2-4-6. Is Lowe a control pitcher? Yes, he is, and that's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. And with 2 outs, that brings cleanup hitter Brandon Belt to the plate. And the roll is a 3-3-6. Is Lowe an ace? No, he is not. Is the batter a sad sack, utility, or patient? He is patient, and that's going to be a called strike 3 on Brandon Belt. Strikeout looking by Brandon Belt, and that retires the Giants in the top of the 6th. Still a 1-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and this will be the final inning of work for Jake Peavy. He will be facing 4, 5, and 6. Jeff Kent, Hesop Choi, and Olmedo Signs. Righty, lefty, righty. And if he runs into any trouble this inning, we will go ahead and bring out the hook. Jeff Kent, leading off, hits a 1-1-6. Is the pitcher fresh? The decider die says no. Is the batter a utility or a sad sack? No. And that is going to be a single to left. So Kent leads off with a base hit. And that brings the semi-slugger, semi-home run king Hesop Choi to the plate. And we are going to go ahead and pull the trigger on Peavy. He's done a good job. He's gone 5 innings, 5 plus. Hesop Choi, the left, who is also neutral and a flash. Lopez pitched more innings. And we're likely only going to pitch this next batter 1 inning. So we'll go with Matt Moore. So Peavy catching. We also have Derek Lowe and Hunter Strickland available as righties. Derek Lowe looks like here. Derek Lowe facing Olmedo Signs. Runners at first and third, the infield in all the way around, nobody out. The roll is a 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? He is not a star. He is an ace, but not a star. Is the batter a home run king? He is not. That's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Active runner on third base scores on flyouts, others hold. Kent is not an active runner, so that is not going to be deep enough to score the run. Was forced to hold at third. Now we've got runners at first and third with 1 man out, and Jason Phillips is your batter. Phillips is a stoic runner. So what I like to do in this situation is play the infield in at the corners, and the second as we go to the baseball right now chart. Derek Lowe is a hot pitcher. He just retired the last hitter. Kind of backwards from how we do it in the big leagues. They wouldn't have necessarily announced the defensive change, but he's up huge, fans, and he retires all three men he faces and strands Jeff Kent at third base. The Dodgers had a runner on third with my star. He's a flash. He is a hot pitcher. But with runners on second and third, I think it's time for the Dodgers to go to the bullpen. We are going to be looking for a lefty to deal with Denard Span. Span is the cold batter for the day. The Dodgers have one lefty in the bullpen, Kelly Wunsch, who is a semi-workman. Not their best option. They want somebody who can get it done here in the top of the seventh. So it is going to be one of their righties. And they're going to go with the flash, Dwayner Sanchez, because they need the strikeout opportunity. So 6 1/3 fine innings by Derek Lowe, 6 hits, 1 run so far, but he is responsible for the runners Panic and Gillespie. As Lowe leaves to polite applause from the Dodger faithful, and Dwayner Sanchez comes into the game. Sanchez will pitch, and we will just we are going to want to pinch hit for him anyways. So Sanchez comes into the game. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Sanchez looking for the strikeout against Denard Span. Span is the cold batter, but he is a lefty, and he is a semi-hero, so he will stay in the game. Sanchez winds and delivers a 3-3-4. Is the pitcher an ace? Yes, he is an ace coming in the middle of an inning for the pitcher, Derek Lowe. Fine performance by Derek Lowe tonight. And in fact, if this pinch hitter can deliver the go-ahead run, Derek Lowe may end up being the winner of this game. So the pitching for the Dodgers is Dwayner Sanchez. Let's see what the Giants have by way of pinch hitters. Preferably a lefty. You've got Gregor Blanco, who is a semi-utility. And you've got Jared Parker, who is a semi-utility. Almost everybody on the bench is semi-utility, with the exceptions of reserve infielder Kelby Tomlinson and backup shortstop third baseman Eduardo Nunez. So what we are going to do is we are going to pinch hit with Nunez, because we may need Kelby Tomlinson later in the game. Tomlinson is actually a Gold Glove fielder, so we will save him for defensive purposes later in the game, and it will be Eduardo Nunez to be your pinch hitter with 2 men out. Nunez is a semi-hero, semi-eager, semi-whiffer. So Derek Lowe comes out of the game. Eduardo Nunez comes in to pinch hit. And we are set. Sanchez studies the sign. Winds and delivers. The pitch is a 1-1-3. Is the pitcher an ace? No. Is the batter a slugger? No. And the result is a single to center field. Nunez delivers the single up the middle. And with 2 outs, runner scores from second on any hit. That will be a 2-run single for Eduardo Nunez. Run score. Nunez holds at first, as there is disappointment here in Dodger country. A key clutch pinch hit single by Eduardo Nunez scores 2 runs, and makes it a 3-1 ball game. Brandon Crawford is now your batter. And the pitch to Crawford is a 2-3-4. Are there runners on base? Yes, that's going to be plate drama. Plate drama now with Dwayner Sanchez on the mound. Bob Hanson is your home plate umpire. And on a roll of 1-2 is the catcher iron. The catcher is Jason Phillips. I believe he is neutral. No, Phillips is semi-iron, but the decider die says no. So there will not be a wild pitch. Instead, there will be a ball, and we will go to the umpire mini chart. To the umpire mini chart we go, with a runner on first, the 7th, and the Giants are protecting a 2-1 lead with 9-1-2 coming up. The pitcher slot, followed by the switch hitter Bradley, followed by several lefties. And I believe he's the backup catcher. Antonio Perez is a hero. I always liked Antonio Perez, even though he did not live. So Antonio Perez digging in against Javier Lopez. Right-hand batter against left-hand pitcher. Lopez swings and delivers a 2-4-4. Is the pitcher an ace? No. Is the batter a champion? No. And that's a ground out to shortstop. Actually, he is a whiffer, so that is a strikeout. Lopez strikes out the first man he faces. And with 1 out, your batter will be Milton Bradley. Bradley, the switch hitter, delivers a 1-4-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. That's going to be a ground out to third. And with 2 outs, Ricky Leday is your batter. Semi-hero, semi-slugger, digging in against the lefty Javier Lopez. 3-3-6 is the roll. Is the pitcher an ace in hitting duties? The pitcher will go back into the 9-hole in the lineup. The Dodgers now trail by 2. And I forgot to record what Pence did. Pence popped out to a flight out to center field. Actually, no, I had the hitters wrong. That was Crawford who led off, and Pence who draws the walk. Okay, now we've got it together. On comes Choi facing Hunter Strickland. The roll is a 4-5-6. And on a roll of 4-5, do we have batting team harmony? The Dodgers were semi-harmonious, and the decider die says yes. Focused batter waits on the pitch, on balls. Wild no. Is the batter eager? The decider die says yes, and that's going to be a base hit through shortstop. Unless he is also a whiffer, in which case he strikes out. Okay, so that's going to be a dilemma because the decider die has already been used to determine that he was eager. So we're going to roll the decider die again, and if the decider die comes positive on this roll, that's a strikeout, and if it's negative, it is a single through shortstop. All right, there you go. Him on. They only have Casilla, the closer, and Osick, who is a semi-workman. And the roll is a 4, and it is a 3-2 ball game with 1 out and the tying run at third. And that will be all for Hunter Strickland. They're going to wait until the catcher. Neutral, but semi-eager and a semi-whiffer. And he is a righty. First and third, 1 man out. Hunter Strickland is now a semi-struggler. So do we go to the closer now? Or do we go to the semi-workman lefty? You certainly don't want that guy. I think you've got to pull the trigger and go with the closer. 8 complete, and the score is 3-2 in favor of the Giants, as the Dodgers get one, but they cannot push across the tying run. And now we go to the top of the 9, to the 9 hole. Lefty, lefty, lefty. And trailing by 1, they are going to bring in their lefty, Kelly, out of the bullpen. Off the top of the 9th, as the Giants come to bat for what they hope will be the final time. The pitch is a 2-3-5. Is Wunsch wild? He is semi-wild, and the decider die says yes, and that will be a base on balls. So Wunsch walks the first hitter he faces, and that brings Joe Panik to the plate. Gillespie is a semi-stoic runner. He ain't going nowhere. Panik is the man. He is a neutral batter. The glove check is a 1. Is the right fielder gold? The right fielder is J.D. Drew. And J.D. Drew is not gold. Stadium are disgusted. As Denardspan comes in and goes yard, Kelly Wunsch comes in and gives up a walk, followed by a flyout, followed by a big home run to Denardspan to make it a 5-2 ball game. That brings Mac Williamson to the plate. Williamson came in for defense in the double switch. Leading off is Ricky Leday with a 1 in the pitcher's column. Is he a home run king? No. That's going to be a fly out to center field. For the first out of the inning. 1 down, 2 to go. And J.D. Drew is your next batter. J.D. Drew swings and hits a 1-4-6. But your final score today in a very entertaining ball game at Dodger Stadium is the San Francisco Giants 5, the LA Dodgers 2. Winning pitcher on the day is going to be whoever pitched the bottom of the 6th for the Giants. The 6th inning for